Ooh, we're live.
Oh, we're live. Gentlemen. We're back again. It is Wednesday morning. It is the most ridiculous marketing podcast with your host, James Hacking. That is me, founder of Social Powerful, with my fellow hosts, Daniel, William, Boom Boom. We love the boom, 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 boom. And we've got a new man who has joined the show today. Would you care to introduce yourself? Dan Cole.
Hi, I'm Luke. I'm the head of affinity marketing at Socially Powerful. Very nervous today.
This isn't a job interview.
you can be who you want on this podcast.
I'm Dan Cole, professional rugby player.
Awesome. Dan, how was last week after the hot experience?
So,
if you haven't seen last week's episode, please go and have a watch of it on YouTube.
Big fuck you. Just FYI. That was the worst experience of my life. Not like the actual eating of the chili sauce. Like the first few chili sauces were great. The last one was terrible. Like it was awful. That was the hottest thing.
It was terrifying.
It was terrifying.
The bomb.
I thought I was going to die. The bomb one was just, that was just horrid.
Yeah.
But it was a few hours later when
hang on.
Really
I've got it here.
2 hours.
But yeah, no, I was. So what time did we eat that? About 4:30.
End of the day. End of the day.
4:30 p.m. By about 6 p.m, me and Hayden started to get really bad stomach cramps. I couldn't go home. I was scared to get the train home. I thought I was gonna let it all go.
You were meant to have boxing training as well, weren't you?
No, we were supposed to have boxing training. We had to miss it. I would then at one point threw up in the staff toilets upstairs.
Nice.
And then braved the train journey home, which was okay.
When you were sick, did this sound come out as well?
Every time, mate. Every time.
But it wasn't a fun experience.
But no, I was up from. So I went to bed about 10:30 in pain.
Yeah.
When you're like really ill and you try and force yourself to sleep to get through it. 10:30, woke up at 1 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Serious pains, like head to toe in sweats. And I was up from 1 a.m.
The bottom of his feet was sweating.
Yeah, 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. I was up like running back and forth from the bog. Yeah, worst experience of my life, mate. I've broken my arm before. I'd rather do that
than do
How many wings did you eat?
So we had, 8 wings or something?
Wings,
one of each sauce.
There was a combination. One time they combined the two previous to the bomb. Combined that.
I think if we had just stuck with the previous 6, it was only the final sauce that really fucked us up.
Yeah.
And we just got a bit overzealous with the dosage.
Got a bit too keen with it.
I blame you for that.
But if you haven't seen that episode, go and have a look on our YouTube channel. Comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'm getting those comment, and subscribe things in now, guys. I'm not going to forget. But anyway, let's kick off the news.
Oi, oi.
Dan, what's in the news? GTA.
So I'll kick this off. I saw this. This was brilliant. So I think it happened in Blackpool, right? I saw it in a Manchester Standard. Surely you know what's what up that region.
Collects all the papers.
Yeah. I know all the papers. Yeah.
But so the headline read, 11-year-old boy pulled over by police for driving car after parents get pissed off that he's spending too much time on GTA. so this I think it's Lancashire police pull over a red Peugeot.
Yeah,
because they've driven past it and they see
Lancashire police.
They see an 11-year-old boy driving it, and they've gone, oh, what the bloody hell? So pulled him over. The parents are in the sort of passenger seat in the back. They go, what are you doing, lady? They go, well, he plays too much GTA, so we wanted to get him out the house. This is the only thing that would get him off the controller. It's just, are you mad?
Like some parents.
But do you know what? It turns out when I read the full article, it was in a car park, right? So it's not too bad.
I was expecting him driving down the M25 or something with a gun out the side, pop him
next to a school.
Who was the rugby player? The Welsh rugby player who drove the golf buggy down the M4. Do you remember?
Andy Powell. Andy Powell, yeah.
Yeah, that's brilliant. The rugby players get up to all sorts of when they're on the lash, don't they?
Yeah. Did you hear about the other thing as well? About the 6-year-old in America getting arrested?
Which one?
It was on BBC News. This 6-year-old girl was being so naughty that her parents called the police, and the police came and arrested her. I think she was misbehaving so much in school or something. Yeah, so she got arrested.
Mate, the Americans are brilliant, right? So I heard of a couple of sue cases in America because they love to sue, don't they? The Yanks.
Hi, Sue.
And the best one I heard was there was this woman who sued a supermarket because there was a kid running around and it ran up behind her and she fell back and fell over.
He just went for the studs up tackle.
Something like that. Yeah. She was sort of like he ran in, or the kid ran into the back of her legs and she fell over and she sued the supermarket successfully. Thing was, it was her fucking kid.
That's unreal. That's unreal.
Another one was one guy got sued because someone broke into his shed or garage, or garage, as they say in America.
Yeah.
And the door was busted.
Yeah.
And the burglar got caught in the door and stuck in the door. And the burglar successfully sued the homeowner for having a dangerous door.
Oh my word.
It's like you're burgling.
But the funny thing is, in America, if you catch a burglar, you're allowed to shoot them.
In some states, yeah.
Mad. Anyway, next news topic. Just a quick. Everyone sort of stopped. Anyway, LinkedIn. LinkedIn is in the news. LinkedIn Stories is coming after Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook. Everyone, they're getting in the act on the story hype.
Makes sense.
Kind of. Have you seen the challenge that's gone around recently where people are posting pictures of Facebook, Tinder, LinkedIn, Instagram?
Yes. Yeah.
This is going to be like the different stories people are going to do on each platform. I'm just like waiting for the self-help gurus and the sales dicks to just crawl out of the woodwork.
That's all that's going to be on there.
It's Monday. Porn, you guys could do it too. It's going to be horrendous.
2 weeks ago, I was living in the gutter.
Yeah.
I work 24 hours a day.
Now I've got a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
And you can have a Lamborghini too if you sign up for my course. It's going to be
called
shit
perseverance and hard work. Only $44.99.
And my dad only gave me $100,000.
I was thinking about it on the way in this morning. I was like, what would I post on LinkedIn Stories where I don't be a dick? Like all I post on like Instagram stories is like
being a dick.
Yeah, being a dick, or my mates like being sick or like doing something stupid. You can't really post that on LinkedIn Stories, can you?
I guess the only things that would count as like a acceptable flex on LinkedIn Stories would be like I don't know, a staff party or a charity thing, like if you're doing a marathon. But anything else it's just going to be self-help gurus. It's going to be someone who's rich or is pretending to be rich. Showing other people how they can be rich or pretend to be rich as well.
Yeah. Millions of little Gary Vaynerchuks pretend to be Gary Vaynerchuk.
Want to be Gary Vaynerchuks.
You're going to have a Gary V army, won't he?
Oh, God. It's going to
be painful.
Especially because with LinkedIn, you connect with a lot of people. You're going to have like 12,000 people just like going through their stories. It's not like Instagram where you're selective about who you follow and who you look at. You're just going to have like Jeff, recruitment consultant from Blackpool, whose kid is that kid who got arrested from that car, telling stories about how amazing he is at recruiting. Yeah, I'm not looking.
That whole thing was a PR stunt for his agency.
Will you use it?
What, LinkedIn Stories?
Yeah,
100%. I'm the best self-help guru there is. Duh.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Luke, can you use it?
I'll give it a go. Try it once if you don't like it.
Z, you can have a go. Yeah? Zahid, you gonna have a go? No. Nah. Right, next topic. Have you guys ever wanted to feel what it's like to be a celebrity?
Every day.
Well,
I've always wanted to get rid of my fame, really.
Yeah.
Too famous, really.
Yes.
Well, I've got something for you, and it's called Botnet. Have you heard about this?
Botnet.
I can't say I have.
So, Botnet is a new social media platform where everyone is an influencer. Anything you post is going to get millions of likes, loads of comments, but there's no real people on this platform. It's all bots. So you can have the experience of what it's like to be a celebrity and be famous, but it's not real.
Influencer simulator.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. You can post things and like millions of people will like it.
What is it like? So it's like what they gamified trying to be
Yeah.
famous for getting
But it's not-
your ass out on Instagram.
Yeah.
But it's not like semi-famous. It's like how it's like to be Kylie Jenner or Cristiano Ronaldo. It's that famous. It's
like Uber famous.
Yeah. Not just anything. You are going to be the big cheese.
Okay.
It'd be quite interesting. Well, it's not going to be interesting at all.
Has it launched yet?
I don't know. Do you want to sign up?
I'm intrigued.
I put a LinkedIn story up before where you can swipe up and use my affiliate link.
Can you sort of create? I guess you get to create your own like persona, and then
You can be whatever you want on there, mate.
Yeah.
You can be whatever you want. You can post what you want. So it could be.
I'd love to sort of replicate Ozzy Osbourne. See what it's like to just like be completely lucid.
Yeah.
But I can imagine you're just going to get what everyone else is going to get. Millions of people like your shit.
Yeah.
It's not like actually going to be real stuff where you're going to be Ozzy Osbourne. It's just going to be you in your bedroom filming these clips, and it's just going to be bots liking it.
I can dress like
Yeah,
Ozzy
it doesn't
Osbourne.
matter what you do. I think they just like it.
Imagine if that starts becoming like a platform where brands want to get involved
Yeah.
in. It could be could be quite interesting. It's never going to go anywhere. Well, I've said it.
Hey,
Now. Watch what happens 2 years' time. Botnet is the big thing that
It's an
everyone's
interesting
involved in.
concept, anyway. Yeah, I like it.
Anything else to add? No, thought not. So, big news this week is the big news of DAZN. DAZN are making moves into the UK market. Something that everyone has felt was going to be coming, but just didn't know when. It's meant to be launching with a new boxing fight on May the 2nd. Billy Joe Saunders against Canelo, launching into the UK. And its ambitions is to take on Sky Sports and BT, who've had the rights to pretty much everything and the reign of everything for whenever they wanted. What do you think?
So, to my understanding, is that DAZN is the sort of boxing's over the top OTT platform, right? So they want to.
They've got other sports as well.
They've got other sports as well, but that's like their big thing.
That's where they started. That's how they started in the US. So
That's the most
it's meant to be coming to the UK for
sport.
£5 a month. It's probably going to go up to £10, but I think over the next 12 months you're going to get 12 fights or something.
Well, and that's not like, so you get the Canelo, what you
get
would
the Canelo.
usually pay for pay-per-view.
Yeah.
You get that for £5 a month. That's not bad.
Yeah,
It's pretty good.
You pay probably 20 quid probably for a Canelo fight, I guess, in the UK, and it's going to be
I'd say 25, I reckon.
25 maybe. Yeah. So
The problem is that Sky have signed people like me up for 2 years.
Yeah.
So even if I buy this thing, I'm still getting the same exact service I was already getting. But if they can get the football, that's going to shake things up a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
They bid for the Champions League last year, I think it was, or maybe that was Amazon. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm mixing it up. But they've been trying to get football rights and not succeeded yet.
I think that was Amazon that
Maybe it was
that got
Amazon.
that. I think we did a
But
podcast on that.
DAZN are in Europe, aren't they? They started in Europe and they've done other things. I don't know if they.
They've got in the US. I know they show some like NFL. They show some like Bellator, all that sort of stuff. So you can get more than just boxing on there. But in the UK, it's just going to be boxing focused for now because I don't think they've got the rights to anything else. I could be wrong, but by the time they launch, they might have other stuff. But it's going to be a big shake-up. Obviously, Amazon jumped into it this year when they had all the football over Christmas and New Year, where that was incredible, where you could
amazing,
watch any match you wanted throughout December. You had the options of 10 games kicking off at 3 p.m, which was sick. You never get those 3 p.m. kickoffs on Sky. Just giving you the ability to watch what you wanted when you wanted, not being just served one game. I thought that was pretty amazing. But Sky have had this monopoly over football for I don't know when Sky
Since the Premier
started.
League, basically, wasn't
Since the Premier League.
92 or whatever.
You need to talk into your mic.
92.
What mic are you? Talk?
Two.
Right, let's put me up a little bit. There you go. I can't remember where I was going with that. But what potentially
So Sky will become obsolete, I think is where you were going. Is
I know where I was going actually. So what could potentially happen is what's happened at some point now where you've got Sky who've got certain sports, BT who've got certain sports, then you'll have Amazon having something, you're going to have DAZN having something. So people are just going to be split across everything. So they'll end up actually paying more money for sport that they already watch.
Yeah.
But if DAZN can shake it up and get the football, they can get other things, and they can have this service where it's going to be the go-to platform, then that's going to Sky and BT are going to be quaking in their boots.
Yeah, they will. And also, if you think back, like whenever it was, say 20 years ago, you wake up on a Sunday morning, you get Goal Lazio, for example. at the moment it's a race to the top. So whoever's going to pay the most money. DAZN have got a huge amount of money for boxing, like 100. What was it? I had like 100 million, maybe.
Well, Canelo is on in his next 6 fights. He's getting paid $380 million.
Yeah, okay, so it's 100 billion,
and they give
billion, something like that.
It's a lot. Yeah,
they've given Eddie Hearn $1 billion over 3 years. I think it is.
Yeah, that's right.
To make fights,
which is amazing.
But
so
they've gone from
fighting the best.
Their big announcement is it's not just a UK market. They've gone from 6 market
200
to 200 plus.
Wow.
So they've gone for that global expansion that they said they were going to do.
Who backs DAZN? Who's got the money?
It's a UK company.
Really?
Yeah, they're based over in Hammersmith. It's Perform Group. I think they're called Perform Group.
Wow.
Yeah, but it seems to be that they're really ramping up. I didn't expect it to come so soon.
No,
because maybe they were forced because Amazon jumped in last year, and I
think it's just the way the landscape is heading. I mean, you've got the Amazon with the football, you've got UFC Fight Pass for MMA.
Amazon take tennis, don't they?
All the major sports are going towards streaming services. It's just the way that the consumers are consuming.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to me.
I wonder if Sky and DAZN could do some sort of partnership. Maybe that's what might happen in the UK. Because Sky seems to have the subscriber base of a lot of people because of the football, and then DAZN are bringing something different. But DAZN's platform is a little bit different, where you can subscribe and unsubscribe. Whereas with Sky, you'll subscribe for 2 years. I think that's the flexibility with these sorts of things, where you can pick and choose exactly what you want. So if I wanted to watch a specific, just checking if that was still recorded, if you wanted to watch a specific fight or a specific game, you can subscribe for that month. Like
really?
with KSI and Logan Paul, their fight was streamed on DAZN in the US, and that was like, loads of kids wanted that, and they got loads of subscribers, and then they were hoping that they'd stay for other things.
But that's the only way I see like Sky and BT Sport surviving is being that hub where all those different channels and can be found in one place. Yeah, because otherwise, I would never get Sky. Yeah, otherwise,
I've got Sky, I've got BT. I've got Amazon. I've got Netflix. Got all of them, I've got everything. I'm paying across all these different.
You've got
things.
A large bill. That's what you got.
That's why DAZN is exciting if they can get the other sports, because I watch different things on each platform, because you get some football matches on BT, like early kickoffs on Saturdays and other Monday football stuff. On Sky you get obviously international rugby when it's autumn internationals, which is also interesting. That I don't know if you've seen this, that on a free air TV, there's not actually that much sport that is still available, whereas a Six Nations is still available on BBC and ITV.
They've just lost out to Sky, haven't
but
they?
the rumours are that it's going behind the Sky paywall next year. So it's free-to-air sport.
It's really grinds my gears. That boils my blood.
But like,
there's nothing better than just like sticking this like Six Nations on at the weekend, having a few beers with the boys, and letting loose. Yeah. And now I've got to go get Sky or go down the pub.
Like, you haven't got Sky now?
I always usually go down the pub anyway, so it's not that big a difference now that I think about it.
Yeah. But so obviously you've got Sky where you watch football, you watch some international rugby. I also watch like the T20 cricket and the darts on there, because darts is unreal.
Darts is have you seen the ladies beating all the men? I can't remember her name.
Fallon Sherrock.
Yeah. Well, I feel like you got something to say about that.
Well, she won a couple of games at the World Championships, and then she got knocked out, and it's become this big thing that she's the best player in the world. When in reality, she's a great women's player, but she's not beating the best of the men. Right. Like when you get to that level where you're playing against Michael van Gerwen and Gerwyn Price and what's his name? Guy with the hair. Peter Snakebite, right? Like when you're playing against those guys, that's another level. Like they are just different gravy. But where I was going anyway, so you've got different sports on Sky. But on BT, you watch some football. I think I also watch like Premiership rugby on there. So you are split across different platforms. It's going to unless DAZN can come and get everything. Yeah, it's a difficult market.
I think, they haven't even got the whole of boxing, have they? Because
BT it looks as well.
It looks like it's down to the individual fighters where they want their fights to be.
Where they get the most money. Because Anthony Joshua's fights, he's with Matchroom, but his fights in the UK, they're going to be broadcast on Sky Sports box office, not through DAZN. So to get Anthony Joshua's fights, you still need to be on Sky. I think he's got a contract until 2021 with Sky, and then after that, whether he will still be around again, I don't know.
I'm not sure he's going to get through his next fight though.
Yeah. Well, Pulev, I reckon.
Pulev. Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's what we said about Ruiz, eh?
No, I reckon he'll beat Pulev. But yeah, they're rumoured to be trying to be bidding for Deontay Wilder Tyson Fury 3. DAZN. Even though Tyson Fury is a BT fighter, he's on BT Sport and ESPN in the US, they are rumoured to be trying to bid to get that fight to drive a load of subscribers to the platform.
It would it'd be a smart move.
And they'd probably take
It's probably
it as well.
the most interesting fight coming up, isn't it?
Yeah.
For quite a while as well.
Yeah, well, you've got AJ Pulev.
It's like a legacy fight, isn't it? So
Canelo, Billy Joe Saunders. I reckon that'll get a lot of subscribers.
Yeah. I like Canelo's an amazing boxer. I remember when he fought Mayweather and Mayweather scored.
I think Canelo, Billy Joe is a boxing fans fight, whereas Tyson Wilder is just a general public.
That massively transcends the sport, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can keep talking. You've still got a few seconds, guys. Well, so whenever the sound comes in, people don't want to keep talking. I'm not sure why. Now we've got to awkwardly fill this silence while I slowly move up the volume fader until we get to.
You should have a speed up button.
Unfortunately, I'm quite limited with this road. There you go. Ooh, lovely. Anyway, I quite enjoyed talking about that. I could talk about football, sport, DAZN, Sky Sports for a very long time. So I quite enjoyed that conversation. Anyway, moving on to the next topic, which is consistently in the news every second of the day, every day for the last couple of months, coronavirus.
We're all going to die.
Yeah, we've all probably got it by now.
Yeah, I've got my case.
I was sat next to someone on the train this morning. He sat down and then he just coughed. And then instantly I was like, fuck.
Get away from me.
It's just like, but I'm cramped. This train is so cramped. Oh, I've got to sit here for 45 minutes.
But unless like you're on the train now and you cough and everyone does look at you.
Yeah.
And you're just like, what did I do?
I've never been like scared by a cough before, but now it's like.
But we don't want to talk about the actual coronavirus and its symptoms and all that stuff. We want to talk about Corona beer and the impact it's had on Corona.
Yes.
And AB InBev. Apparently, the coronavirus and the outbreak has cost the company 132 million.
I read 170 million.
Well, maybe it's gone up since last night.
Huge figure.
And
that was a few days ago.
Yeah, and the reason is, it's not because us lot are stopping drinking it, really. It's mainly down to the fact that China, all the bars and stuff are shut. So people aren't actually going out to drink it at the moment, so orders aren't getting placed. And it's caused them their worst financial impact for the last 10 years, I think it is. Mm-hmm. And I think Diageo, who don't own Corona, have also announced, because of all the bars, all the nightclubs, everything shutting down in China, I think they've lost 200 million or so. Wow. So it's really had a big impact on the alcohol industry.
DAZN are bidding for Diageo.
DAZN are bidding for
drinking rights
the rights
in China.
Yeah, so obviously I think a lot of people... apparently this.
I've got some stats here.
Is this what I'm about to say, or
maybe I don't know.
I'm about to tell you a stat that I read on the weekend, which was apparently this data company have done some research. Is it what you were going to talk about, Dan?
No, go for it.
A data company have done some research into coronavirus and its awareness in the US and the. Where the symptoms have come from, where its outbreak has come from. Apparently, 16% of Americans believe the coronavirus is from Corona beer. Yeah. And then they also have another question, which was...
That's nearly 1 in 5.
Yeah.
Which the stat here is 36% of Americans will not touch Corona beer.
Yeah. No. The stat was in public.
Is that what it was? In public?
Yeah. So... Whether they do that in private, I don't know.
Yeah, 38% of American beer drinkers who were surveyed said they wouldn't buy Corona beer under any circumstances.
Oh, really?
This is brilliant. Google searches for Corona Lager have increased by 1,100% with people searching for beer virus or Corona beer virus. There's no link between coronavirus and Corona Lager.
It's my favourite beer as well. I love Corona. There's no way I'm stopping drinking it.
It's a great beer.
Oh, summer beer. That is the best. Bit of lime, you know.
The only beer that tops it for me at the moment is Asahi. Asahi
do you like an Asahi?
Bang. It's super dry. Asahi's super dry.
that doesn't have anything to do with coronavirus, Dan. So let's move on. Joking.
It's an Asian beer.
Yeah, right. No, no, their sales are down. They're Japanese, right?
Japanese
beer. Anyway, where are we going with that? I'm not really sure. Americans really have no idea where the coronavirus is coming from.
Fucking read a book, Americans.
What?
I said read a book.
Read a book. But if you think about it, hang on, has this stopped again? No, it's still going. Still going, just a bit wary. The actual awareness of the Corona brand, it's probably never been higher.
Yeah.
It's like the actual awareness of, what beer am I going to have? Corona. Like,
it's going to be.
That's what my thoughts were, like that they had losses, right? Is because I was thinking, well, if anything, it's just like a bit of free publicity.
Yeah, you're in the press every day.
But there's a difference between like people buying it right now and people being aware of it longer term, maybe.
I'm sure, like in 5 years' time, everyone's going to be like, "Hey, do you remember coronavirus? Let's get 50 million coronas."
Just play the long game, coronavirus.
Just coming back to Corona, that beer is part of one of the best days of my life. When England beat Sweden in the World Cup, we went to this place in London. What was the name of it? Dinorama. And they played the football. And you get these big crates of Corona in buckets of ice. So you got like 24 for like 12 quid. So it was like unreal. We had this amazing spot. There was like 8 of us there. We had these big buckets of Corona. And England like absolutely smashed Sweden. And like the roads were jam-packed. Like everyone was going crazy. People on top of the buses. Yeah. Gareth Southgate was coming home. Mate, like one of the best days of my life. Throwing Corona everywhere.
That was brilliant.
Yeah. So I just want it back. I want those times back. I'm just scared, right, that I'm getting married this summer. This could impact my stag do.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want my stag do cancelled with this coronavirus.
I'm going snowboarding in April. Might get cancelled. That would suck. That's like a grand down the toilet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's the deal with that then?
Don't know.
Are they just going to restrict travel? Could they do that?
They could do.
Especially with like Ibiza. That's when people from everywhere go.
Yeah.
So that could be like Ibiza's closed.
Yeah.
I'll just be like,
we'll just make a no licking policy. You can go to Ibiza, don't lick anyone.
I read that BA and EasyJet have started reducing their flights because people aren't buying them.
Yeah.
But I don't think that means that they're going to cancel flights. If anything, they'll probably want you to go on flights more than anything because they're probably losing profits. But Italy, I can imagine. I think because there's like 800 cases now in Italy, where there's only like 39 in the UK.
Yeah. Well, a lot of their cities actually got like they're on lockdown, right? Yeah. My barber was telling me that where he's from in Italy, their whole town's on lockdown. You can't go out at certain times. You're limited with what you're able to do.
Global companies have started saying, you've got to start working from home. So Twitter has started saying to, I think South Korea, China, Japan, and most of the southeast offices.
There was an office in London the other day. I think it was OMD.
It was near Canary Wharf. Yeah, they had a scare.
There was someone in Fitzrovia in Soho that came back from Singapore and had some sort of symptoms. So they sent everyone home for 3 days.
There's a lady in Wimbledon diagnosed with it, and I live in Wimbledon Chase, so it's getting a bit close to home.
That's getting close, isn't it?
Lock your doors, I think. Don't come into work, mate. Anything else to add? Don't really know. Did we cover that topic well? I'm not sure, but
we're never really sure.
By Corona.
You're never really sure. By Corona.
Remember England.
I just think
this is where we just crack one open and
Well, I remember that time we did. I remember that time we did open Coronas for the podcast. That podcast never got released because it was just chaos. We just didn't talk about anything. Just sat there drinking beer. Yeah. It's amazing how
deleted cut.
It's amazing how one beer has that much effect on you when you've got a microphone in front of your face and you're in a room just talking. Anyway, next topic. Hugo Boss. Hugo Boss is in the news because they are going after the little man.
Joe Lycett.
Yeah, Joe Lycett, comedian. I've never heard of him. I don't know if he's funny or not.
Cats.
Countdown. He does Countdown, or he has done. I don't know if
is he funny.
He's sort of I guess so.
He's known for like the first time I saw him was on 8 out of 10 Cats, Jimmy Carr's show. And I can't remember exactly what he did, but he had an argument with the council about parking, a parking fine.
Yeah,
and that's his stunt. He like gets into arguments.
He's like an activist comedian.
Yeah, he gets into arguments with organisations,
my nose off the bike
and bureaucracy and stuff like that. Just and very cleverly and funnily sort of takes them down just by being tedious and annoying.
He uses all their stuff against it. It is funny.
Yeah, so I read on the Hugo Boss thing that he's changed his name to Hugo Boss because Hugo Boss went after a small brewery in Wales, was it?
Yeah,
and they were I think they were calling. Let me just try and find
Boss Black.
Boss Black and Boss. Yeah, I guess the reason why they've gone after it is because Hugo Boss release all these fragrances every single day that are like Hugo Boss fragrance or Hugo, or no, it's like Boss Code or Boss Black or whatever.
Yeah. Well, they're trying to have a monopoly on the word boss.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, well, it's quite a common word, right?
Yeah. Are beer and fragrances going to get confused by people? They're never going to be sold in the same place.
Well, they're both alcoholic, aren't they? So yeah. I think.
Well, yeah.
If you have a real drunk on your hands, maybe they might take a swig of fucking fragrance, just get that hit.
So the thing is that he's changed his name to Hugo Boss at Depot, and he sent this tweet out saying, "I'm now known as Hugo Boss because Hugo Boss got the little man. I want to show that they need to say sorry and blah blah."
But they keep on sending cease and desist.
To smaller businesses
cases to any business that use the word boss, and it's not just this brewery, but I think this brewery flagged up to Joe, and so he's changed his name to Hugo Boss, and he sent a cease and desist claim to Hugo Boss. Probably not going to work, but it's quite funny.
Do you see their statement from Hugo Boss yesterday?
No.
Something about
it was like a guy said, "We welcome Hugo Boss." No, I'll read it. "We welcome comedian formerly known as Joe Lycett as a member of the Hugo Boss family." And then it went into saying like, as he will know, a well-known trademark as opposed to regular trademark, Hugo Boss enjoys increased protection not only against trademarks similar goods, but also for dissimilar goods across all product categories for our brands and trademarks Boss and Boss Black associated visual appearance. And they went in to say that they had a good understanding with the brewery. They came to an agreement. They were allowed to use the name for different things, but these two things they weren't allowed to. So it seemed like it was like an amicable split on Hugo Boss's side. I don't know whether it was or wasn't, but I guess as a small brewery, you'd have incurred thousands of pounds of damages. Well, not damages, legal fees. I've experienced the same thing. When I started a watch brand, which absolutely flopped. Because we just didn't have time to do it. But we started this brand called Riley and Vincent, and the logo, we tried to trademark the logo because it was pretty nice branding. We got a letter through from, I don't know if I'm actually allowed to talk about this, I'll be honest, but they're never going to listen to it. They're never going to listen to this podcast. From a French brand called Roger Vivier. They're like a French, I don't really know what they do. They're like goods, clothing, etc. And they said our logo was too similar to theirs. And we looked at it and we were just like, there's absolutely no way our logos look any way similar. We were just using R&V. Theirs was like a squiggly R&V and ours was like an R&V backwards. And they tried to trademark against us. And as a small business at that stage, obviously it's not like it wasn't to do with Socially Powerful. We were funding it ourselves. We incurred like, I don't know, $5,000 worth of legal fees. And when that's coming out of your pocket as like a business where you've sold like 400 watches and you've got to pay for it out of your own like shit, it was like a nightmare. Yeah. And we were just like, we don't want to deal with this, man. Like we're not going to be competing with you in any way, shape or form. You're just coming after us because you feel like you own R&V with your shit squiggly like italic font. Anyway, we got it cleared and we then ended up winding up the company because we just didn't have any time to sell watches anyway. But I've experienced it on that side where this big French brand come after a small brand because they feel you're a bit similar.
Well, how do they even find it? How do they find an RV?
When you trademark something, I guess it gets sent through to people who also have RV trademarks and they can make a claim.
Oh, you trademarked Riley and Vincent?
We tried to, yeah. I
see, okay.
I think the statement from Hugo Boss is just a very poetic way of saying, we threatened them with
could be
huge financial losses if they didn't conform. And now that we've won, we're really happy about it, and you should be too.
There's no way of fighting someone like that because they're always going to have deeper pockets than you, unless you have a real claim where you feel you're really going to win that, and it's your life goal to beat this big man. It may as well a lot of time just bend over and take it because
they may have got some sort of like here, keep quiet, just do what we say.
So I think
it's a bit of free publicity for you.
I've watched enough Suits to know they'll bury you in paperwork.
I think it was $10,000 in legal fees and costs. they incurred. And what Joe's trying to do is that Hugo Boss should repay them that money.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
They are a small business after all. Like, no one's ever going to confuse this small brewery in little old Wales with a multi-conglomerate that's worth like 2 billion every single year that they turn over. Yeah. There's just no
They're
confusion.
all there spread.
Drinking this, which I'm guessing it's a stout with that type of name. Oh, this tastes like German engineering.
I bloody love
German high fashion.
That really smells like your aftershave and tastes like it too.
I feel like I've got a Orlando Bloom at the back of my throat.
They should start opening pubs and just have like Hugo Boss on sale as well. In the toilets as well. Just have Hugo Boss on like the show. But apparently also what's happening is that people are now changing their name to Joe Lycett. So there was like there's some other BBC presenters that have taken their names, like, I don't know, Dave Smith is now known as Joe Lycett. Just to, like, take it.
If I was Hugo Boss, I'd have done the same. I'd have really reduced
everyone's jumping on the bandwagon.
A Lycett range. You know?
Hugo Boss, Lycett. Coming soon. Or like sort of anagram of his name.
Yeah, you don't Lycett, you love it.
Yeah, I like that one.
You should work in marketing.
So, anything else you want to add? Or
on the Joe Lycett stuff? No.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's no Lloyd's Corner today because he forgot. So I don't know if anyone's got a question off the top of their head that they can just ask. Z, have you got any questions you'd like to ask us? I like involving Z.
That, Z.
I like involving Z in the podcast. It's always nice.
I don't know what to say.
He's under pressure. Zahid, have you got any questions you'd like to ask? Nothing? You're good? Okay, fine. I think we completed it. Luke, enjoyed having you on. Will you do it again?
I will. Thank you. Stay classy, San Diego.
Nice.
Okay, right. I'm pressing stop.
Ciao.
See you later.